I have reviewed a lot of Dell laptops in the past, but there is one that I keep coming back to, the XPS 15. For me, it's almost the perfect laptop. So what's lacking? Why is it not my perfect laptop? Well, because I want Final Cut Pro, which is only on Mac. Now that is one hell of a good con for a laptop to have. With that said, let's get into the review. Now this is one good looking laptop. I love the industrial minimalistic design approach that Dell went for in this laptop, and pair that with the incredible 4K Infinity Edge touch display with practically no bezels, and you have got yourself a stunning laptop. Now there are several good things about having a small bezel. First off is the obvious one, it looks good, but also form factor. Lowering the bezel size will allow you to create an overall smaller laptop without sacrificing on the actual screen size. Compared to the Inspiron 15, which is also a 15-inch laptop, the XPS 15 is a lot smaller in every way. It's lighter too. The XPS 15 has an extremely sturdy build with a carbon fiber chassis and silver aluminum panels on the top and bottom of the device. The carbon fiber part of the laptop gets a lot of smudges and stuff like that on it, which makes it look kind of cheap, but as long as you have a microfiber cloth ready, that will not be an issue. In terms of portability, the XPS 15 is definitely not as portable as its smaller brother, the XPS 13, but at the same time, I think the extra power is worth it. It weighs just under 4 pounds and has the footprint of a 14-inch or larger 13-inch laptop. The XPS 15 starts at $999 US, and that gets you an i3 6100H, 8 GB of RAM, a 500 gig hard drive paired with a 32 gig SSD partition, and the screen is a Full HD non-touch display. If your budget is around the 1K USD mark, you should not buy this laptop. I would look at the Inspiron 15 instead, which for the same money gets you an i7, 16 gigs of RAM, and an SSD, which is a much better deal. It may not be as pretty as the XPS, but it has much better specs for the price. If I would buy this laptop, I would get something along the lines of the one that I have here, which has the quad-core i7 6700HQ, 16 GB of RAM, 512 gigs of SSD, a 4K touch Infinity Edge touch display, and powering that display is a GTX 960M graphics card. If you do want to save some money though, you can opt for a Full HD display instead of the 4K touch display, which at the same time saves battery life. Speaking of battery, the laptop has an 84 watt-hour battery, and we will touch more on battery life later in the review. So what's the keyboard like? Well, it's fine, but it isn't anything special. The keys are a little bit wobbly and doesn't give you that good of an actuation click, but for most people it's fine. It has a white backlight which fades out after a while to save battery life. The trackpad is pretty good. It's big enough for most people, and it's great for gestures like scrolling and right clicking. The screen is outright amazing and probably the best I've seen in a laptop yet. Just look at those bezels, or well, lack thereof. The screen I have here is a glossy 4K touch display. It is an IPS display, which means that colors look great. It gets fairly bright too, but there is of course some of that IPS backlight bleed. In terms of connectivity, we have got power in, USB-A, HDMI, Thunderbolt 3 in a USB Type-C connector, and a headphone jack. On the other side, there is a Kensington lock, a battery indicator, and another USB Type-A port, and an SD card reader. The battery life is not amazing, but definitely not a problem either. The 84 watt-hour battery will last about 6 hours of web browsing, 3 hours of 4K video watching, and from my testing, about 2 hours of editing video. In this department, the new MacBook Pro definitely shines with its well-optimized software, giving it a 10-hour battery life when surfing the web and watching some videos. The XPS 15 I have here has the dedicated 960M GPU, which by no means make it a full-on gaming laptop, but that's not to say that it cannot run games, because it can. Games like CSGO, Rocket League, Overwatch, and League of Legends run surprisingly well on this laptop. It does get audible when gaming and editing video, but it's not anything that I think would bother you. Alright, let's take a look at some miscellaneous things. Alright, the webcam is located at the bottom of the screen because there is no place up top like on laptops with a larger bezel. This is a problem which have made me stop using the webcam altogether. In terms of Wi-Fi and other connectivity, the XPS 15 has the killer 1535 wireless card and Bluetooth 4.1. With that said, let's conclude this review. The Dell XPS 15 is a great MacBook Pro 15 competitor for the Windows user. If you want the build quality from a Mac while getting a more powerful system for less of a strain on your wallet, this is the choice for you. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Dell XPS 15 9550. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that like button to show your support. And if you are feeling really nice, go ahead and click that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.